So the CDC, also known as the Centers for Disease Control, based in the United States, has officially published a report in regards to two major outbreaks that took place on board cruise ships that is now known to be linked to a deadly bacteria that apparently manifests inside cruise ship hot tubs. In this video, we will go over the report. We'll also talk about what the cruise lines are doing to appease the CDC, as well as mitigate the risk and keep all of you safe during your vacation. So according to the official CDC report, these major outbreaks took place on two separate different cruise ships, one of which back in November of 2022, the other was a little bit more recent here in June of 2024. As far as the names of the cruise ship, that hasn't been published in the report. They simply have the ships listed as cruise ship A and cruise ship B, so that's what we're going to reference them as in this video. As far as the illness that the dozens upon dozens of passengers suffered from during these cruise outbreaks, it's something known as severe pneumonia that is caused by a Legionella bacteria. Just for reference, the Legionella bacteria that does cause pneumonia was originally discovered back in 1977 after a pneumonia outbreak took place during a convention in Philadelphia in 1976. As far as pneumonia, just to keep it simple, it is more so a lung infection, and it's honestly pretty nasty stuff. I know because my dad suffered from it back in 2022 before he passed away. When it comes to the outbreak that took place on cruise ship A, according to the report, the outbreak was such a serious event that it led to the biggest CDC investigation since 2008. I'm assuming this is aside from the COVID investigations, but I could be wrong. But in this investigation during the outbreak, it turns out that 6 out of the 10 private hot tubs, which basically means the people that are staying in the suites with the hot tubs on board, was unfortunately infected with the Legionella bacteria that would inevitably lead to dozens of people getting pneumonia and have to be hospitalized. During the initial investigation process, the hot tubs within the suites would be closed until the operations and maintenance protocols were upgraded and updated. Now, the major outbreak that took place on cruise ship B here in 2024 would turn out to be an interesting one. You would have 8 private hot tubs in the suites area that would be infected with the deadly bacteria. This would inevitably cause 12 people to get sick, 10 hospitalizations, but thankfully no fatalities. But what's curious about all this is that you would only have 2 people that were infected with the deadly bacteria leading to pneumonia that were staying in the suites that had hot tubs. It was later discovered that the bacteria was able to spread to the public areas, leading to more people getting infected. So it turns out that once the CDC investigations had concluded, it was confirmed that the cruise lines had indeed been following all of the guidelines, rules, and regulations that the CDC had given to the cruise lines when it comes to operating private hot tubs on board their ships. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So now there have been updates and modifications when it comes to the guidelines, which includes but is not limited to taking out all of the heating elements inside of the hot tub. You have to request to use the hot tub, and once it has been used, it has to be drained and cleaned after every single use, and there is more stricter cleaning requirements as well. When it comes to the Legionella bacteria, it is known to grow in warm water environments. This is important to note because the people that did get infected could have potentially gotten their infections from realistically anywhere during their traveling, while they were staying at a hotel, while they were on an excursion, even while in port. But during the investigation, something that was common amongst most of the people that did get infected is that all of them were staying in a room where they had private hot tubs. Sorry, let me correct myself. It wasn't all the passengers that were affected, but most of them, the common element was the fact that they had a private hot tub on board their cruise. Now, just looking at the situation in general, I'll be honest with you, I was legitimately surprised to see this topic making so many headlines because, yes, it is important to keep everybody healthy, but it has been confirmed in the report that the cruise lines did everything that they were asked of and required of by the CDC. It just unfortunately wasn't enough. However, when it comes to the CDC in general, we know that their job is to keep everybody safe. So of course, these reports are going to come out, and when these rare situations do happen, naturally it is going to be a big deal when it comes to the cruise ship industry. However, I know a lot of people, myself included, the CDC, they can be pretty strict on things, especially when it comes to the cruise ship industry. So personally, there are some things that I take with a grain of salt. All I will say is that personally, I don't think this is anything to freak out over. Cruise ships are one of the cleanest places that you can ever go on vacation, and everybody is different, meaning you have people that have different tolerances for certain things. There are people that will take a flight and get sick. sick. There are people out there that have never smoked a cigarette in their life and they pull a Walter White from Breaking Bad and somehow get cancer. The only thing you can do is try your best to keep yourself clean, keep your body as healthy as possible, shower, wash your hands, do all the things you need to do, and simply enjoy your vacation. That's what I have for today's video. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.